Okay. I was just reading the lesson for today again, and we're on lesson 252. And remember, this is in context of we're making each day, we're taking some time, we're looking at a new understanding. And we'll call that the idea of sin. We're looking at a new way of looking at the term sin. Within us, within each and every one of us, within our hearts and minds, we have had this idea of sin, and we have all thought we'd known what it meant, and we've all known and felt its effects within ourselves. And yet, that's merely a mortal interpretation based on life within a dream, not understanding who we really are beyond space and time. As lesson number 252 tells us, the Son of God is my identity. And so the understanding that we've had about what sin is has been quite warped. And as we've become aware, the nature of the ego is always to use everything to its advantage and its preparation and preservation. And certainly, the way the idea of sin has been used in the world of space and time has gone a long way to keep people cowering and maintaining their identification with the ego, and scared of God, God their Father, their Creator, who we're learning is what love is, and along with us. And the Son of God is my identity. When I was reading in this, if you kept this at the conceptual level and you didn't go any further into an experience of what this is really all about, which is what it's designed to be for, and it's the second part, the little prayer we say. If you kept this at the conceptual level and you read this, you would have all the ammunition for an megalomaniac. Because the ego is going to use this to prop you up in the face of others, and keep you thinking that that's what this is all about, when the key word is this shit. And myself is holy beyond all the thoughts of holiness, of which I now conceive. Now, I know, I laugh at that line because you're going to plead your holiness based on the thoughts you can conceive and how that makes your ego feel, when the entire lesson is trying to tell you that there's no amount of your radiation that can actually show you what you are as the Son of God in truth, which is why at the end, in a sense, we supplicate ourselves and surrender and become humble and ask God to reveal that self to us. Because if the ego becomes swelled by the concepts that are put forth in the beginning of this lesson, there's no way in the world God will reveal his true identity to you, because there's no way in the world the ego and God can ever meet. And if you're trying to use any of this for a purpose within the world of space and time, you're going to be sadly mistaken, and your understanding much limited, and your experiences of what is beyond space and time much curtailed. The Son of God is my identity. Myself is holy beyond all thoughts of holiness, of which I now conceive. Whenever you say that sentence, it'll be true. You're never going to be able to conceive of what you are, because God conceived you to be that, and you are not your own conception, nor did you create yourself. It's shimmering myself, the self that I am. It's shimmering, and perfect purity is far more brilliant than any light that I have ever looked upon. Its love is limitless, with an intensity that holds all things within its calm within the calm of quiet certainty. Its strength comes not from burning impulses which move the world, but from the boundless love of God himself. And that's the exact, if you go back, if you take the time and go back, and you would read the section entitled The World, and once again the section entitled Sin, you will see how that statement there directly mirrors what we're attempting to learn. That its strength doesn't come from the strength of the self and the fact that that self is not limited in any way, does not come from anything in this world. Not only that, every attempt to prove those concepts true within the world by worldly means, merely validate the reality of the world and continue to reinforce the limitation that you experience in your own heart and mind. Strength comes not from burning impulses which move the world, but it does come from the inspiration and the burning love that you share with your Father, and the desire to share it with all your brothers. And the truth of the matter is, as you come to know, that's why Jesus talks about the plan, the teachers of God. That's why the teachers of God become so necessary. Because as they begin to undergo this experience, they understand the egoic reactions that are going to occur in the face of what is happening to them, because the ego, unless you as an individual become aware of what it's causing you and take responsibility, is always going to deny the power of God as being your source, and therefore the power it lives on, because it's convinced you that, and through the forgetting that God is not your source and the world is real. Its strength comes not from those burning impulses which move the world, but it does come from the inspiration. But you can recognize that your strength is not of this world and is given to you by your Father, and learn to turn your mind and that strength toward the purpose of the Father and fulfilling God's will and your function in the plan for salvation. How far beyond the world, in this world, I would say beyond every world in which space and time seems still to be measurement, how far beyond this world myself must be, and yet how near to me and close to God you share self with God, with all your brothers. We call that Christ. Christ is probably, and I haven't checked this, I would think that somewhere in maybe the next section we'll begin to learn about what Christ is, or a new understanding of what you are as Christ and how you can know yourself to be Christ. Because through the process of the contemplation that we're given each day here, and the context that we're making with our Creator, we're giving up the fear of identity, reclaiming it in our recognition of the truth of it. And we're giving up the identification with sin and all that identification has denied us from knowing about ourselves, about the truth of who we are in our reality, and kept us locked within a box of space and time, seeing no way out but death. Father, you know my true identity. Reveal it to me, who am your son, that I may awaken to the truth in you and know that heaven is restored to me. And what we're working on is the salvation of the world, or restoring us in our entirety of the sonship back to the reality that we were created in and remain still whole and perfect in even now. And the Son of God is my identity, and yours is a shared identity. It's a shared identity, and we're expressive facets of that identity when we allow our heart and our mind to be healed of the idea that we've been sinful, and let the innocence begin to show us that it's safe to return home for these moments without fear, and to live within and drink of the rejuvenating and renewing waters that the Spirit offers to us. So the Son of God is my identity, it's your identity, and it's a shared identity as Christ. That's why I think we may be hearing about the Christ very soon.